Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Secret Superstars, the movie that came out in the year 2017. This is another movie produced by Aamir Khan, an Indian film, directed and written by Advait Chandan. And a movie that I thought was sweet. It was a nice movie. This is a drama, music. It's about a girl who's trying to follow her dreams as a musician, living in India. Aamir Khan plays a character that would be similar to like Simon Cowell on American Idol, where he is a host of a show, one of the judges, I should say, of a show called Singing Idol. Which I don't know if is a real show, but might be. There's a lot of those types of competition, talent show type shows on TV. But he's kind of the bad guy. He's the guy that makes the kids cry when he criticizes them for singing. He's a guy who is assumed to be a bad guy as well in real life, where he's had multiple divorces. And we have our main character who is... You know, she's 15, I believe. She is Insia, her name, and she goes to school, and she's got she loves music, she loves singing, she has a great voice, and she has dreams of becoming a musician. But her family life isn't very good. Her dad is an abusive father, abusive husband. He abuses her mom. He abuses his wife. And it's not a good situation. But I did really enjoy this movie. It's a movie where, let's just say, similarly to almost like a musical biopic, where things just kind of effortlessly happen, like good things, like it's pretty easily good things happen. This movie, in a lot of ways, has that same thing, where... You know, it's like the best case scenario of a person who has the dream of becoming a musician, comes from a place of not a lot of money, abusive home life, not a lot of support at home, although her mom is a support. In a lot of ways, this movie is a love letter to mothers as well as dreams. But it's where things kind of effortlessly happen. So on that level, it's kind of like a family movie, feel-good movie, right? Even the aspects of the abuse that happens isn't as violent as a more dramatic movie meant for adults would be. So all that said, I really did enjoy this movie. And... I'm going to talk about it. There's going to be some spoilers, obviously, but it's definitely a movie about somebody trying to find their voice, trying to follow their dreams, somebody who has a few people who support them while also trying to overcome some of the hurdles of life. So all of those things. But in all, I enjoyed the movie. But this movie starts, we get introduced to our main character. She's going to school. She's riding the bus. Everybody's like singing. We see that there's a kid, Farouk. No, that's her. I think that's her brother. Chintan is this boy that goes to her school that's got a crush on her. And he kind of tries to introduce himself, whatever, hands everybody this flyer for a talent show that's happening at school. The winner gets a laptop, and she's super excited because obviously she has a great voice, she can play the guitar, and could desperately use a computer. But then there's this great scene where we see what type of situation she's in, where she goes home and her dad gets home from work and he's complaining about all this stuff, complaining there's no salt on the food, and ends up making a mess of the food. And she ends up using the flyer for the talent show to clean up the mess her dad made. like metaphorically throwing her dreams away because of the mess, because of her dad. It's definitely a beautiful metaphor for what this movie is. So we see that. We see that, we see obviously that her dad is abusive to her mom. Not really abusive necessarily to her, definitely verbally abusive. But like her mom wears sunglasses, makes excuses. Oh, I ran into the cupboard. The typical generic my husband beats me kind of excuses, which of course she wants her mom to get a divorce, but her mom is, they're dependent financially on this dude to make the money because her mom is uneducated. Culturally in India, women are generally, at least before, I'm sure there's a lot of different things nowadays, and even in the U.S., women were kind of maligned to just cook and clean and take care of the house, and that was their thing, and to try and support themselves and get away from an abusive situation was very difficult. And for women to get their own jobs, especially if they were never able to get an education, it's far more difficult for somebody to get away from a situation when you're so financially dependent on them. But there's also a fun scene where she's like preparing for this talent contest or whatever, where she's like writing a song on the bus, very reminiscent of 8 Mile, which I enjoyed as well. And then she gets home and she gets a gift from her mom that's a laptop. And we find out later how she gets this laptop. Obviously, she makes excuses for how she gets it. It's like, oh, I just borrowed some money from whatever, from your brother, right? Because they don't have extra money, not for a laptop. And then there's this like scene after she gets the laptop that feels almost like it's a commercial for the laptop. It's not a laptop brand. Like, it could have easily been an HP commercial of like this montage of them learning all of the things that you can do on a laptop. Ooh, look at the maps. Ooh, look at the weather. Ooh, look, we can record videos. Oh, look, there's the face swap AI type of things, like where you stick your mouth open and an animated tongue comes out. Look at all the fun things you can do with a laptop. Oh, YouTube. You can watch YouTube videos, which is sweet because it's like, it is true how much a computer or a smartphone really gives people access to so much. Like, it is amazing how much life is different without any kind of technology like that, without a laptop, without a smartphone, versus what you're able to do, what doors that opens up, what life, the world is opened up to you when you have access to the internet. Whether, YouTube, watching people from India watching reviews of my podcast. We have the main character of this movie making music and using that to gain popularity for her music. All the different things. Society and culture in a lot of ways has changed quite a bit since the internet and since the popularity of not only the internet, but like social media, being able to produce and distribute your own content. It's lowered the barrier to entry for so many things. And in getting this laptop, she definitely is exploring all the amazing things you can do with a laptop. And of course the mom's happy because she's afforded this thing that's going to be used. Like, the worst thing that people could do is to spend a bunch of money on something that never gets used, or maybe gets used here and there, right? But when you buy a tool, when you buy something that somebody can use to create something and that opens up, that gets used constantly, daily, that just gets used on a very regular basis, that's like that's a good use of money, Like, you could buy an expensive pair of shoes, and that's great, right? Expensive pair of shoes, you probably don't want to get them messed up. You're probably not wearing them all the time. Probably not a great use of money. But you buy something like a phone or laptop, and that is a tool that can be used for so many things, and get far more use out of it. So you have that, and of course it's like a situation where they want to try and hide the laptop from the dad. The dad's always going away on like work trips, and there's this potential that he's going to get a job in like the Middle East somewhere, and they're kind of excited because that means that he will be gone for even longer amounts of time. So they're like happy anytime he's not there, but then when he's there, they have to hide. They have to hide who they are. They have to hide the laptop. She has to hide, any kind of joy, because everything surrounds this unhappy dad that's just a horrible person. And of course, because this girl is so distracted by this laptop, not only distracted by the laptop, but she ends up putting herself out there. She creates a YouTube video, and as kind of a way for her to feel comfortable putting herself out there in a way she's never done before, she puts on a burqa, right? I think her mom recommends she puts on a burqa, that way hides her face, and she can feel more comfortable. It's anonymous. Of course, she doesn't want her dad to find out she's doing it. She doesn't want people to find out and get back to her dad. But the side effect of that is that because she's a great singer and she's also anonymous, it sparks interest, and it kind of feeds off of it. And kind of best case scenario happens. Take a little break from the show to promote. I have Inspired Disorder Plus. Would you feel good about donating $5 a month to an artist that you want to support? $5 a month is not much, less than a price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks. A lot of people would probably say, yeah, Inspired Disorder Plus, people can go, and for $5 a month or $50 for the year, you get access to all of the old podcasts that I've ever done, like 10 different podcasts, hundreds of podcast episodes. You also get access to like special deals. So if you do want to collect my artwork, you get discounts on stuff. Watch this show, binge the full week ad-free for $5 a month. Like, you get benefits for the $5 a month or $50 a year. So it's not like you're just donating $5. There's something, you get something for that. Would you feel good about donating $5 a month to an artist that you want to support? A lot of people would probably say, yeah. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com/plus and become an Inspired Disorder Plus member today. And now let's get back to the show. It's one of the many kind of best case scenarios in this movie is that she puts up a video, and at first she's like obsessed with the numbers, like everybody is. Everybody thinks when they do something online, it's going to be what happens in this movie, which at first in this movie, she doesn't get any views. And she's like, whatever, this is stupid. And then later on, she looks at it and it blows up. And it blows up because she's good, but also because of the mystery of like, who is this secret superstar? And I think even her YouTube name is Secret Superstar. Which is like, it's for somebody that's been creating content online for 14 years. I started 2008 when I started putting videos up on YouTube. It doesn't work that way. She ends up getting like 30,000 views on a video. But sometimes when it's the right combination of things, yeah, things can blow up. That is why people do stuff online, because there is that potential for things to blow up. Like, my most popular video is a tutorial on Zippo lighters that I did offhand just because I got a Zippo and I didn't know just kind of the basics of it, to know how to fill it, how to prep it, and all that kind of stuff. Looked at a bunch of videos and they all weren't that good, and I was like, I could do one. So I did one, and now it's over 2 million views. But even that like took 6 months later, and then all of a sudden it blew up, right? It took a while for it to catch any kind of traction. And then after a few years, it's reached 2 million views. Hers, within like weeks, she gets 30 million views. She gets huge. And so huge, in fact, that the Aamir Khan's character, who is Shakti Kumar, who's the jerk, who's the judge on this show, but he also is an actor, he's a musician, he does stuff. And he's struggling to find somebody to work with, to record with, and he reaches out to her, I think on Twitter. Also in his video, gives out a phone number, which nobody would do. Nobody would give out their phone number on a public YouTube like video comment. Like Simon Cowell wouldn't be like texting, wouldn't hit somebody up on Twitter with a video of them and Simon giving them his personal phone number. But whatever, right? Obviously, that's not how it would work. But at first, she's like, I don't want to work with this guy. He's a bad guy. But then she's like, she gets into a situation where she's getting all this popularity, but she has to hide it from her dad. Her schoolwork's not getting that bad, doing well. Her dad's angry. He sees that her grades are dropping, and to punish her, he destroys her guitar. He cuts all the strings of her guitar as punishment. Right? Because it has nothing to do with her getting good grades in school, which is all that he cares about. And it's like this thing where she has to hide it from him. And then he finds out that it's like this laptop that she's obsessed with. And then she tells her to like break the laptop. And there's this heartbreaking scene where he forces her to throw it off she throws it off they're on like the 3rd floor of an apartment building. And it just breaks. And it's just like she gives up her dreams. Right? She gives up her dreams. But like in desperation, like she has one avenue because this guy Shakti reached out to her to record. So she gets in contact with him, and he's like, "Okay, I'll give you a ticket." And her friend Chintan is helping her out, helping her ditch school, where she has to sneak out of school. She gets the plane ticket. She flies to Mumbai. She goes to record, and there's a scene where she's like, can't sing what he wants her to sing. It's not her style, and she changes it up, and it's like blows his mind. He's like, okay, we're going to work. And the whole reason she agreed to that is that if she records with him, she needs his help. Because she knows that his ex-wife's lawyer is super successful at divorce proceedings, right? Because he's been divorced twice, and he got slaughtered in the last divorce. So she's like, I need to work with that person. So he gets her together with it. She goes through the process. She goes out, flies out again to meet with this lawyer, gets the paperwork drawn up to get her mom to divorce from her dad, right? Because she realized they need to get away from him, not only so she can pursue her dreams, but also because her mom is being beat, right? They want that freedom. But then her mom is against it because, she doesn't know how things will work out. And there's like a lot of turmoil in those moments of this movie where it's like it gets to a point where it feels like Insia is just going to give up on her dream. She deletes her YouTube account. She just resigns herself. Her dad gets a job where the whole family is going to move. She didn't realize that. She thought it was just going to be him, but now it's the whole family is moving. So she's literally just given up on everything, especially since she finds out what her mom gave up. What her mom sacrificed when she was pregnant with her. And everybody wanted her to get an abortion to get rid of it because it's a girl. And culturally, girls aren't valuable. But she did what she had to do to make sure she didn't get rid of it. So to pay her mom back, she's like, okay, I will get rid of my dream and go with the family to the Middle East and just completely just forget about my dream altogether. And it's sad. It's sad. And of course, effortlessly, another one of those effortless things, not only did she get, which in reality, if she was getting 30 million views, if she had just monetized that through YouTube, that's a ton of money. 30 million views on one video. I think she ended up having like 20 videos by the time she went to delete her account. She would have been making good money just based on that. But, I don't know when this took place. Maybe this took place before YouTube allowed people to monetize. Maybe it took longer for them to monetize stuff in India. Who knows? But let me tell you, 30 million views. Exponentially more views than I've ever had. And she would have been making that, like, as far as their financial issues, she would have been decent. Not to mention the fact that she's working with Shanti. She can record. He offers to pay her, and she turns down money. Like, she's got plenty of opportunities to make money. She kind of doesn't really take advantage of any of them, right? She just wants to. It's almost like she wants everything at first step. Like, I want to get paid when I'm a award-winning artist. Let's take a little break from the show to promote The Many Faces. That's right, I am also an artist. I do ink paintings on paper of abstract faces. A new face, a new painting gets released every single day over at inspireddisorder.com. So head on over to my website to purchase original artwork directly from the artist. Also, there are prints available for select images. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com, buy original art, buy prints if that's your jam, if you want 8x10 prints on high quality paper. Also, if you're looking to wear some art, there are shirts available with original artwork by myself. Select faces from The Many Faces are also available in t-shirt form. You go to inspireddisorder.com, you buy original artwork, you buy prints, you buy shirts. You're supporting an artist directly. And if you're the type of person that likes to invest in NFTs, there are also NFTs available for select faces. Go to inspireddisorder.com now. And now let's get back to the show. But, like, she gets nominated because of the song that she records with Shakti. Horrible with these names. I'm sorry. Which is like, of course, the first video she does gets 30 million views. Everything she does, everybody loves. The one song she records with this guy gets nominated. Invited to the award ceremony. But like, she had given up on everything by then. But there's this awesome scene that happens at the airport, right? Everybody's going to the airport. They're moving. They packed everything up. And there's an issue with the baggage at the airport because there's one too many bags. And the dad doesn't want to pay for an extra bag. And, of course, the guitar is one of those bags. So he forces her to throw the guitar away. And it's this great moment where the mom finally steps up and, like, stands up to him. And she signs her name and serves him the papers. And she's like, not knowing what the next step is going to be, but just knowing that that's not going to be a step with him. That she's going to believe in her daughter, believe in herself. And the little brother's amazing, too. Like, there's moments where the bro's trying to, like, her little brother's trying to distract the dad from stuff, and he's, like, giving her a wink. There's a moment where he's trying to tape the laptop back together to give to her. Like, the little brother is adorable. Absolutely loved that character. But the mom stands up to the dad finally in the airport, knowing that he's not going to do anything, reminding him that they are in a public place with a lot of cameras, that he can't get away with what he can do behind closed doors. And she takes that. It's a great moment where she finally stands up to him. And, of course, it's the effort. It's like, well, why don't you call Shakti? Call him. He must have enough tickets for us to go to this award ceremony. So it's like the end of this movie. It's like they show up. It's like the, I don't know what, like the Grammys, right? Some award show. But imagine somebody showing up for the award show literally the moment before their category that they're nominated for gets read, gets announced. But unlike all of the effortlessly successful things that have happened, she doesn't win the award, but she kind of wins the award. And it's sweet. She gets to go up and give a speech and, you know, dedicates everything to her mom, as this movie is very much a love letter to mothers and also a love letter to following your dreams, which I appreciate that as well. Those messages are great. And also Shakti's character, Aamir Khan's character, he plays a great asshole, plays a great prick who, like, shows he has heart, shows he's not just a horrible person, right? That he is very much like that, kind of like a Hollywood type of a guy, right? Has all of those kind of egotistic mannerisms and things that, like, somebody who's all about themselves, super, you know, show business kind of guy, but shows that he has a heart to him as well, which I appreciate that. Appreciate his range. I don't know. I'm a huge fan of Aamir Khan. I really enjoyed his movies. And this one was a fun movie to watch. Kind of reminds me of the like Stars in the Sky. I forget the name of that movie. It's the movie where he plays an art teacher and there's a kid with dyslexia. Like Stars on Earth is what it's called. The Indian title is Tari Zameen Par. Kind of reminded me of that movie in a lot of ways. I think I actually like that one a little bit better. But both of them are very, very similar in a lot of ways as far as just these kids who are creative, and Aamir Khan plays an adult who's able to nurture those abilities in some ways. Not as much in this movie as the other movie, but still, I absolutely enjoyed it. It was a great movie. I enjoyed how it ended. It was a sweet movie. I enjoyed the relationship that she had with her friend, her schoolmate, that they have a little love connection. He's adorable as well. The mom is adorable. She's like definitely full of joy, but also, you know, she's supposed to be playing an uneducated person, and I think she definitely pulls off that kind of like childlike ignorance in a lot of ways. And the daughter, where even at the airport, like her daughter who's snuck off to Mumbai twice at that moment, and their family's on their way to the Middle East, and the dad steps away to go to the restroom, so the daughter just stands up to the ticketing counter and kind of gets everything like organized. Like the mom sees how grown up this girl is now, and how, because she snuck off and handled these things, that she actually knows how to handle herself in the real world, gives her that motivation to then stand up and do her part to support her daughter and support her daughter's dreams, and to make the big change for herself as well as for her daughter, for her to follow those dreams. And I don't know, all of that I really did love. I did love it. But yeah, check it out. It's a fun movie. It's a good movie. It's called Secret Superstar on Netflix.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.